If you're like me and you have so many devices that you need to charge at home and when you travel, but you have limited space and not enough outlets, let's talk about some great options. All right, so the first one is one of my favorites because it charges three things that I use every day. This is the Anker Prime wireless charging station. It's the first 25 watts wireless charger with an active cooling system and a built-in display. So I can charge my iPhone, Apple Watch, and AirPods, and the whole thing is powered by USB-C adapter and one cable, which are included. I think it looks super sleek, it saves space on my desk, and I love that I can just place and remove devices without messing with any cables. Now, a lot of times when you're charging your iPhone wirelessly, you're doing it at 5 or 10 watts, but this wireless charging station is Qi2 certified, so you're getting 25 watts of wireless charging. And that gets an iPhone 17 Pro to 50% in 22 minutes. Now, one of my first questions when I saw this number was, what about heat buildup? Because a lot of wireless chargers heat your phone up. So Anker uses Active Shield 5.0, which checks the temperature millions of times a day, and the charger has a cooling system that uses a fan to pull the heat away from the phone, which helps protect the health of the battery. Now, to round out the rest of the devices, I use this setup to charge my Apple Watch Ultra and my AirPods Pro, and there's a built-in touch display that has a customized clock mode, and it can show me important metrics like power output and temperature. I can control the settings with the display, and it can also be used to enter into sleep mode or switch between boost and ice charging mode. Now, another thing that I like about this setup is that the iPhone mount can be adjusted to whatever angle works best for me, so I can always see my phone. Now, if you want a more traditional style charger, this Prime charger has a maximum total output of 160 watts. It has 3 USB-C ports, a smart touch display, it's about the size of an AirPods case, and it has a collapsible plug, so it's compact and perfect for travel. It can deliver up to 140 watts from a single USB-C port, so it can give my 16-inch MacBook Pro all that it can handle. It looks and feels super premium, and you can toggle the smart display between total output, detailed output, temperature, and charging modes. You can use AI Mode 2.0 to automatically adjust the power based on device recognition. You can use the app to customize the power distribution to each port, or you can just keep it in standard mode, which prioritizes USB-C 1 for maximum output. And if you have a 26K 300 watt Anker Prime power bank, you can charge it at up to 150 watts, which is crazy. Now, if you want a desktop charger, more power, and some more features, the Anker Prime 250 watt GaN 6-port desktop charger is a good option. You're getting 4 USB-C ports and 2 USB-A ports, but we're now getting a higher total output and 140 watt max output from the USB-C 1 port. So that gets something like my 16-inch MacBook Pro to 50% in just 25 minutes. On top of that, there's a 2.26-inch LCD interactive charging display, which shows you the charging status and speed. There's also a physical multifunctional knob on the side to easily take advantage of intelligent power management, where you can select between AI optimized power mode, a port priority mode, a dual laptop mode, or a low current mode. And you don't need to connect to an app or use your phone. You can control everything from the charging station itself. Now, if you want more features, you can use the app. And if you want things like remote charging control and future updates, you can even connect via Wi-Fi after registering for an account. Now, finally, you can actually use it as a clock and select between multiple themes, and you can even upload your own images via the app for a more customized screen display. All right, but what if you really want to go all out? You want to set up a workstation with multiple monitors and just about every port that you can think of. Then you should check out the Anker Prime 14-in-1 DL7400 docking station. My main workstation has 6 monitors, so whenever someone suggests that I use my laptop at home, I always felt restricted. Until now. I can have up to an 8K monitor and 2 4K monitors all connected at the same time to either my MacBook or Windows laptop, and I can extend my desktop to all 3 monitors for an amazing multitasking experience. Looking at the ports, we have a 2.5 gig Ethernet port, a 450 megabits per second USB-A port, 2 5 gigabits per second USB-A ports, a DP port, 2 HDMI ports and a 140 watt upstream USB-C port, which I use to connect to and power my laptop. And on top of sending 10 gigabits of data per second, this charges my 16-inch MacBook Pro to 50% in 30 minutes. On the front, there are 3 USB-C ports, each rated for 100 watts. The 2 on the left are rated for 10 gigabits per second, and the one on the right is 5 gigabits per second. There's also a 3.5 millimeter audio jack on the right, and then SD and micro SD card slots on the left. Now, finally, on the right of the device, there is a controller knob for manually changing settings and display modes. And on the front, there's a 2.26-inch high-def LCD display for everything you need to see. Now, if you prefer to change these settings using an app, just download the Anker Dock Manager, and you get a more dynamic and detailed interface with animated graphs showing how power is being distributed, as well as the flow of data. It's also super easy to change settings and switch between modes without having to reach for the dock. And I love how productive I can be with 4 displays, counting the one on my laptop. Plus, I can still charge any device that I need to. And if I'm using a laptop that doesn't have a built-in card reader, something like the MacBook Air or some of my Windows laptops, I have those in the dock. Now, to protect the attached devices, the dock comes with Active Shield 3.0 and a quiet built-in fan, which keeps everything cool. I also like the fact that there's no bulky external power supply like there is with some other docks on the market. Now, earlier in the video, I showed you a small travel charger, which is great. But what about when you're on the go and you don't have access to an outlet? This new Anker Prime power bank is an absolute beast. It's the most powerful power bank that I've ever used, with a 26,250 milliampere hour capacity and a whopping 300 watt maximum output. It also has features that I haven't seen in any other power bank. So first of all, get this, a 16-inch MacBook Pro can accept up to 140 watts. And typically I see one of those ports on high-end power banks. This power bank has 2 of them. So you could charge 2 16-inch MacBook Pros to 50% in 27 minutes, or an iPhone 17 Pro Max to 50% in 22 minutes. It has 2 USB-C port and 1 USB-A port, so you're always covered. It's TSA approved, but one of the challenges you typically run into with these higher capacity power banks is that it takes so long to recharge them. Well, guess what? You can wirelessly recharge this power bank at up to 150 watts if you have the Anker Prime charging base, which is nice because you don't need any cables. You can also use the charger that I showed you at the beginning to do that wired. But if you want the fastest and most powerful option, you can actually charge it using 2 140 watts chargers at the same time and then 2 USB-C cables, and that will get this power bank to 50% in just 13 minutes, which is bananas. There's a smart display that shows you all the parameters you want, so things like remaining battery, charging and recharging status, temperature, and then remaining time. And you can use the side button to easily switch between display modes. You can also connect the power bank via the Anker app using Bluetooth and monitor everything remotely. Now, I wasn't sure that I was going to use this feature, but it's actually quite handy when I travel and I want to check to see if I need to recharge the power bank, but I don't want to dig it out of my bag. Now, hopefully this helped you find the perfect solution for your travel, home, and office charging needs. Links in the description are updated with the best prices. Let me know which one was your favorite. You know what I always say, buy it nice or buy it twice. Good luck and see you soon.